Righto guys, I'm going to make a bit of a planned reading video. I'm in my footy get-up because I'm about to head off to training, but considering I got the house to myself, I thought I'd make a video. I've had a few people ask me about what I look for in the plans, and I thought I'd take the time to walk you through some of the stuff that I look at when I receive a job, and while I got the house to myself too. So hold on, I'm not good with this. I'll turn this around, I'll show you exactly sort of what I do. At the moment I've got it on file on my email, so I'll just load up the upcoming job I received last week. And okay. All right, so I'm just loading it up now. The very first thing I do when I receive a job, mind you, they send you about 1,000 different files and things like that. So the very first one I do, I've loaded it up now, is I bring up the color schemes, so to find out what cement I'm using. So that's the most important thing, because I don't want to rock up and use the wrong one. So mortar, easy enough. We've got rolled joints, which is pretty much common about every job I've done has been a rolled joint. This bar one, I did an old jointing one. So rolled joints with natural coloured mortar, easy enough. That's the first thing we do. Then, I think this is the right one, yep. Okay, so I'll load up, what do we got here? Engineering. So I've got the engineering, got the plans there, and I've got a purchase order as well. So let's open up the plans. I'll show you what I look at when I first look at them. So, all right, there's about 15 or so pages just in the plans, but this for the most part is what we want to be focusing on, was the ground floor drawings, which is only a single story, so that's the final drawings there. And also I'll be looking at the elevation plans. So we've got 2 pages of elevations, having your north facing, whatever it is, north, south, east and west of your house. All right, so I haven't actually had a look at this one, so it's new for me as well. Let's zoom it up a bit. All right, so we've got our plans. Like I mentioned, I've done one of these plans before, but if you haven't seen that one, in Australia here, or in Melbourne, the plans that I get, these, you might be able to see them diagonal dash lines there. That indicates where the brickwork is. So as you can see, brickwork along windows, doors. Pretty much got bricks all the way around this one, including a porch at the front pier. And this one doesn't actually have an alfresco, but usually I do an alfresco sort of 2-wall with an external pier on the corner. So to get a better look at that, let's bring up the okay, let's bring up the, here we go. So we got our front elevation. As you can see, we've got bricks over the top. I just like to have a peep at this and see what we got, because a lot of the times we have rendered work here, especially when we've got an estate or something like that, where you have, a lot of the houses have guidelines that they have to abide by. Same with us, with where we've bought our block of land, we've had to, in the process of going to see all these builders, you have to abide by all their guidelines that they have. So it's like 3 different materials on your facade. Have to have render in there, have to have some other material, whether it be, you know, brick, obviously brick, or you have some cladding of some sort as well. So a lot of the houses that we do have a rendered front, whether it be 50%, 25% or 75% or whatever. We generally do find we do have renders. And as you can see in this job coming up, we've got weatherboard cladding up and around the entry. So it saves us doing a bit of work there. We've got face brickwork around, as you can see, them bricks there. We've got a 350 by 350, I'm guessing, rendered pier that is rendered, because you can see there, we've got selected render finish to front porch pier. This is pretty much standard, our 4800 wide opening for the garage, plus a 2180 height there. So that's pretty much standard as well. We have them on almost all our jobs. That'll probably be a 590 pier there, I'd imagine. I'll have to again go out there and look on here. So all right, let's see what we got. I don't know. Some plans are hard to read. What do we got? Yep, 590 up there. So 590 return for that front pier. And then what I do is I just, from that point, obviously put my tape measure from there across. And that's when wherever I find my 4800, I just start my pier there. So sometimes it works full brick, sometimes it doesn't. All depends on what you can try and make work. Obviously the plans don't always fit brickwork measurements, but yeah, it is what it is. All right, back to this. What else do I look for? All right, so on this job, there's no bricks over the openings again, over the windows, which has been pretty good actually, because it does save a bit of hassle and a bit of time. When you get these ones, you can generally get through them pretty quick. Same as the back. We're now at the rear elevation. As you can see, we have, you know, soft infills above doors and windows. All through there's the back of the garage, back sliding door. You can see a select frame aluminium sliding door, and same thing over there for that little window. And then the other side is pretty much the exact same. I had an interesting one last week where I had two of the exact same little 1200 wide windows, but except for one of them, the right hand side had bricks over and the other one didn't, which was quite bizarre. I didn't know why that was. So if any of you know what the reason might be there, let me know. There was a couple of pipes underneath the one with the bricks over. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but very strange that one little window had bricks over and one didn't. Anyway, so pretty much they're the two things that I always find myself going back and forth on when I'm at the job, whether it be I'm double checking my measurements or just, need to know where the bricks are and where the cladding is or where the rendered stuff is. So while I'm on site, I'll generally always refer back to this. It's a bit of a pain. They used to give us hard copies when I first started, and when I did my apprenticeship, my old boss always had like hard copies on him, but generally for the most part now they don't sort of do that. So I find myself opening up the phone, which is a bit of a pain, but I always refer back to the ground floor and the elevations. And then of course, if I close this one, we've got our engineering here, which is the very first thing I do after I've checked the colour scheme. When I first rock up, spread my bricks, and I come to this section here, which has got all of our it's got all of our AJs marked. So as you can see, front is here with the porch, with the rendered pier there, and I go out with the spray paint like you might have seen me do on some of the videos, and I just go around and mark all that stuff there. So generally we have heaps of AJs. Some people say we go a bit overkill on them. I reckon we probably do at times, but as you can see on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 AJs on the job. I read somewhere it's got to be spacings of 4.5 or something for a single dwelling here. So 4.5 meters, we have an AJ generally. I could be wrong there, but I think I read that the other day. So that's pretty much what I do, what I look at. Sometimes I do look at sometimes I do look at the details when I work for a new company. If I don't know whether they do like their sills or bricks on edge, flush to the bottom, overhanged, whatever. Sometimes you find yourself with sort of a difference in the overhead beams when we're doing our two front pier garages. Sometimes we have different finishes. Some want them flush up to the back, some have them 10 mil running up to the back of the garage. For instance, if that was a LVL over the top bar and I didn't have bricks over, and the rear part comes sometimes 10 mil after that to finish flush with the plaster. And just checking over a detail just has virtually any of those little queries that you might have and how they want their stuff. So If you see here, these guys do have their seals flush, and the detail might be here, might not be. Sometimes they had it, but for the most part, like I said, check your engineering, mark out where everything's got to be. You don't want to miss an AJ. I've done it plenty of times, and it is a bloody nightmare trying to go back and cut in AJs and stuff like that. So, first thing, engineering, check it, mark them up, spray them everywhere, make sure you don't forget them. Then I just look and make sure I've got the right coloured mortar, very important. And then I look at my front elevation, find out where bricks are, where I don't have to do bricks, and then yeah, checking out my measurements on the final drawings. So that's just about it. That's what I look for mainly. Sometimes I do check to see what bricks I got, because for me, I have used some really good bricks, and I have my favourites, of course, but I've also used some horrendous bricks as well. Just make the job, you know, a little bit more painful. You got to keep an eye on. Sometimes here we have like bricks that just aren't square at all on the edges, and no matter how hard you try and keep them beds straight, you're always going to have, when you look down the site, you have waves and stuff like that. You have, especially out here with the chalky bricks, like I've mentioned, in the hot weather, there's some that just dry the bricks out, and you have to roll join every course or two, so that can be a real pain as well. So I also look at the bricks. And on this one, we've got pretty much Austral's Access Tan, which is one of the most used one here, which is very similar to the one I've got at the back here at my place. Let's go ahead and have a look. Very similar sort of finish to this. Obviously this has got white mortar and we're using grey, but these are pretty much the same replica of the Access Tan, like dark maroon colour. Pretty good, very straight, shouldn't have any worries. The only thing I do find when we do go to brick wash it, these ones, they do have them little pockets where you get the little mortar in, and they can be hard to sort of wash up and clean up. So as you see there, like even at this job, you see them little pockets where they're hard to get out of. But for the most part, these bricks are pretty good to use, and I'm not going to complain too much. Then definitely not the ones that dry them out too much. We won't have to be roll joining them every course. More like going to be roll joining them every six to 8 courses, so which is good. So I'm looking forward to that start. We were meant to start Monday. There's been a lot of delays due to the COVID 5-day snap lockdown that we had last week, and I heard that there's a backup of like some ridiculous 150 brick orders, so everyone's been pushed back 2 or 3 days. My old man just went past then to check if the bricks are ready for tomorrow. They're still not there, and the roof's still not on, so I've still got roof tiles delivered and put on. Usually take them a day or two, and then we'll start. So what was going to be a Monday start is looking like a maybe Thursday at this rate, Wednesday, Thursday start. So fingers crossed we get to that sooner rather than later. In the meantime, we're going out tomorrow to do another brick wash, so that'll be good. And yeah, the brick wash tomorrow, I'll take you out there. Maybe we can show you how we do that. And that's just about it. That's what I look for. So just a little video on that. A couple of guys asking. They're the main things I look at in the job. If you got any questions, anything strange, I know I didn't go into too much detail, but to be honest, I don't really bother. I just look at the couple of documents there, and yeah, refer back to them. So that'll be it, guys. Off to footy training, got to get fit, starting to put on the weight, so ready to go. Look at this, look at the get up, get around the Point Cook Sharks. All right, that'll be it. Thanks, guys. See you next one.